Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. One of the greatest powers a woman can ever have in a relationship is the power of not caring too much. Yeah, I said it. The minute you stop stressing over every text, every call, every move he makes, that's the moment you flip the script. Because a man feels your energy, and when he knows you're not begging for his attention, that's when he starts chasing yours. Confidence is the most attractive thing a woman can wear, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You can have the prettiest face, the best outfit, the perfect body, but if you don't carry yourself like you know who you are, it won't matter. Because what truly draws a man in isn't what he sees, it's what he feels when he's around you. Confidence changes the whole energy. It's that quiet power that says, I'm good with or without you. It's that unspoken message that makes a man sit up a little straighter when you walk by because he knows he's dealing with someone different. See, when you know your worth, you don't move out of fear. You're not afraid to lose him. You're not chasing validation. You're not bending over backward trying to prove your value. You know your value, and that changes how you show up. Men are naturally drawn to women who carry themselves with confidence because it challenges them. A confident woman doesn't need attention. She commands it. She doesn't have to beg for love. She inspires it. When you believe in yourself, you make other people believe in you too. That's why confidence is like a magnet. It doesn't scream. It doesn't chase. It just pulls. And here's the real deal. When a man sees a woman who doesn't need him to feel complete, he respects her more. He knows he's not dealing with someone desperate for love, but someone who chooses love from a place of strength. That's a whole different kind of energy. Confidence also changes how you handle rejection, arguments, and silence. A woman with confidence doesn't panic when he doesn't text back right away. She doesn't overanalyze every little thing. She says, all right, maybe he's busy. I'll keep living my life. And you know what that does? It makes him notice. It makes him realize you're not sitting around waiting for him to validate your existence. Because when a woman doesn't fall apart over small things, she shows she's built different. She's built strong. That calm confidence drives a man crazy because it shows emotional maturity, and that's rare. Confidence isn't about being loud or bossy either. It's about walking into a room knowing you belong there. It's about smiling when others would frown, standing tall when others would shrink. It's knowing you're beautiful even on your bad days. And let me tell you, when a man sees a woman like that, she becomes unforgettable. Because every man wants to feel like he's winning when he's got her, and every man knows he's losing when she's gone. That's the power confidence gives you. You stop trying to fit into someone else's idea of perfect and start realizing you are the standard. You are the prize. So when you wake up every morning, don't worry about whether he likes you or not. Ask yourself, do I like me? Because when you love yourself first, everything else starts to fall in place. Confidence is the key that unlocks attraction, respect, and desire, all without you saying a single word. The moment you stop chasing, you start attracting, and that's the truth a lot of people don't realize until they've exhausted themselves trying to get someone's attention. When you're chasing, you're telling the other person, you have something I need. But when you stop chasing, your energy shifts completely. You're no longer operating from lack, you're operating from abundance. You're no longer saying, I need you to notice me. You're saying, I'm already enough. And if you see it, good. If not, your loss. That kind of mindset change is how people respond to you, especially men. See, a man can feel when a woman is chasing him. He feels when she's always available, always waiting, always overthinking his every move. And when he feels that the chase is gone, the mystery is gone, the excitement is gone. But the moment she stops trying to convince him, he starts to notice her differently. Because men are hunters by nature, the thrill comes from pursuit. If you're doing all the chasing, he doesn't have to. When you stop chasing, you reclaim your power. You're no longer begging for his time or adjusting your life around his schedule. You start living on your terms again. You go out, you enjoy yourself, you focus on your goals. That energy is magnetic. People can sense when you're centered and confident, and it draws them in like light draws the moth. A man starts wondering, why isn't she calling me anymore? Why does she seem so calm, so unbothered? That curiosity turns into desire because now he feels something he hasn't felt before, the fear of losing your attention. And once a man starts feeling that, he'll start putting in the effort he wasn't giving before. The thing about attraction is that it's not built on desperation, it's built on value. When you stop chasing, you're showing that your time, your peace, and your energy are valuable. You're sending a message without saying a word. I don't need to chase you because what I bring to the table is worth chasing. And that makes a man respect you. It makes him want to prove himself because deep down, every man wants to feel like he's earned the right to be in your life. When you hand it to him too easily, he doesn't see the value in it. But when you pull back and let him come to you, he feels that spark again, the same one that drew him to you in the first place. When you stop chasing, you also find peace. You realize love isn't supposed to feel like running a race. It's supposed to flow naturally. The right person won't make you chase. They'll meet you halfway. And the more you focus on yourself, your growth, your happiness, the more naturally the right kind of love finds you. You attract what you are, not what you beg for. So when you stop chasing and start living in your worth, you don't lose anything. You just make space for someone who's ready to come find you. A man values what he has to work for. That's just how we're built. It's in a man's nature to appreciate the things he earns, not the things handed to him easily. When something comes too easily, he might enjoy it for a moment, but he doesn't treasure it. Think about it. When a man works hard to buy his first car or his first house, he keeps it clean, he protects it, he takes pride in it. But if somebody just gives him something without effort, he might like it, but he doesn't feel that same connection. The same rule applies to relationships. When a man has to put in effort, when he has to pursue, to prove, to earn, he builds a deeper emotional investment. That's why when you make a man work for your time, your love, your attention, he doesn't just want you, he values you. See, when a woman gives too much too soon, she unknowingly takes the challenge away from him. She does all the calling, all the texting, all the planning, and suddenly he doesn't have to do anything. That's when his energy starts to fade. Not because he doesn't like her, but because there's no sense of pursuit left. A man's effort is tied to his feelings. The more he invests, the more he values. When he puts time, thought, and energy into you, he's emotionally involved. He starts to care about what you think, how you feel, and whether he's doing right by you. But if you hand him everything before he earns it, he won't recognize the blessing standing in front of him. He'll think it'll always be there, and people rarely appreciate what they think they can't lose. When you make him work for it, you're not playing games. You're teaching him respect. You're showing him that access to your world is a privilege, not a right. You're showing him that your time has value. A man admires a woman who doesn't just say she's high value, but actually lives like it. That means she doesn't settle for half effort. She doesn't chase attention. She doesn't reward inconsistency. She lets him know through her actions that if he wants to be part of her life, he has to show up right. And when he finally earns that spot, he holds on to it tighter because he knows what it took to get there. Men may not always say it out loud, but we respect boundaries and effort. The truth is, a man falls harder for the woman who challenges him to rise up. She makes him better because she doesn't lower her standards just to keep him. She stays true to herself, and that makes him see her differently, not as someone to conquer, but as someone to commit to. That's the power of making him work for it when he's earned your love, your loyalty, and your trust. It becomes priceless to him because deep down, every man wants to feel like he's won something rare, and when you make him earn it, he'll spend the rest of his life making sure he never loses it. Boundaries teach a man your worth. A woman who sets clear boundaries is a woman who understands her value, and let me tell you, that's powerful. Boundaries are not walls, they are standards. They tell a man how to treat you, how to approach you, and what behavior you will and won't tolerate. Without them, you leave room for confusion, disrespect, and disappointment. When a woman doesn't have boundaries, she ends up saying yes when she wants to say no, giving too much when she's already drained, and accepting less than she deserves just to keep the peace. But when you have boundaries, you communicate a simple truth. You know who you are, and you're not afraid to lose someone who doesn't respect that. A man learns how to treat you based on what you allow. If every time he crosses a line you let it slide, he'll start to believe those lines don't matter. But when you stand firm, when you say, no, this doesn't work for me, or I'm not okay with being treated that way, it sets a tone. It tells him you're not desperate for his approval. It shows him that being with you is a privilege that comes with responsibility. And trust me, men notice that. A woman with strong boundaries commands a different kind of respect. She doesn't have to raise her voice. She doesn't have to beg for effort. Her actions do all the talking. Setting boundaries doesn't push a good man away. It draws him closer. The right man won't feel threatened by your standards. He'll feel inspired to rise to them. Because deep down, men want to be with a woman who makes them level up. The wrong man, the one who only wanted convenience, will complain or disappear when you enforce your limits. But that's not rejection. That's protection. Your boundaries protect your peace, your energy, and your heart from those who don't deserve it. And when a man realizes you're not the kind of woman who will settle for breadcrumbs, he starts showing up with the whole loaf. Boundaries also create balance in a relationship. They keep you from losing yourself in someone else's world. You can love a man deeply, but still know when to say, this is too much. You can care about his feelings, but still protect your own. That's what maturity looks like. When you can walk away from what doesn't serve your peace, you show incredible strength. And that strength is what makes a man take you seriously, because he knows you won't stick around for half love or half effort. You demand the full version of what you give, and that's fair. So when you set boundaries, don't think you're being cold or difficult. You're teaching him how to value you properly. You're teaching him that love isn't about giving everything away. It's about mutual respect. And when a man learns to respect your limits, he'll also learn to cherish your heart. Boundaries don't chase men away. They filter the wrong ones out and help the right ones stay. Emotional independence drives a man's curiosity. When a woman has control over her emotions and doesn't let them run her life, she becomes magnetic in a way that words can't describe. Emotional independence means you're not waiting for someone else to make you happy, calm you down, or give your life meaning. You're already grounded within yourself. You can enjoy love, but you don't depend on it to survive. And that's what fascinates a man, because when a man meets a woman who isn't constantly seeking reassurance or reacting to every situation, he realizes she's different. She's in tune with her emotions, but they don't control her. That balance is rare, and it pulls him in. See, most men are used to dealing with women who give all their emotional power away. Women who cry, panic, or overthink every move a man makes. But when he meets a woman who stays calm, who doesn't lose herself in the ups and downs, it throws him off in the best way. It makes him want to understand her, to know what makes her so composed. He starts asking himself questions like, why doesn't she need my validation? Why doesn't she react the way others do? What keeps her so grounded? That curiosity becomes attraction, because mystery is born from self-control. The less you reveal through impulsive emotion, the more a man wants to figure you out. Emotional independence also shows maturity. It means you've learned that your happiness is your responsibility. You've learned that love is meant to add to your life, not fix it. So when you're in a relationship, you're not demanding constant attention or chasing constant proof of love. You give him space to be himself while keeping your own sense of self intact. That creates respect. A man can relax around a woman like that because he knows she's not depending on him for every ounce of her joy. He feels free to love her because she's not trying to control him or the situation. That freedom actually makes him want to be closer, not further away. The truth is, when you can handle your emotions with grace, you teach a man how to treat you. He learns that silence doesn't mean weakness, that calm doesn't mean disinterest, and that your peace isn't for sale. You're showing him that you're a woman who can handle life with or without him. And that's what keeps his attention. Men are drawn to strength, but not the loud kind. They're drawn to that quiet strength that says, I've been through things, but they don't define me. That's emotional independence. It's power without arrogance. It's love without desperation. And the best part, when you're emotionally independent, you attract better love because the men who come into your life know they can't manipulate you with silence or sweet talk. They know if they want to be with you, they have to meet you on your level, emotionally balanced, respectful, and secure. That's the kind of woman a man can't forget because she doesn't need him. She chooses him, and that choice makes all the difference. When you walk away with peace, you walk away with power. There's a kind of strength that comes from knowing when something or someone is no longer serving your growth and having the courage to let it go without anger or bitterness. It's easy to walk away mad, to slam doors, to scream and curse someone's name, but true power is walking away calm. True power is smiling, wishing them well, and moving forward without looking back. Because when you reach that level of peace, it means you've mastered control over yourself. You've stopped letting other people dictate your emotions. And that right there is freedom. See, when you walk away in peace, you're sending a message not through words, but through your silence. You're saying, I know my worth, and I refuse to fight for what's not meant for me. That silence is louder than any argument. A man feels it deep. When you no longer respond, when you stop chasing, when you stop proving your point, he starts to notice what he's lost, because peace isn't weakness, it's confidence. It's a quiet declaration that says, I don't need to explain myself to be understood. And that drives a man crazy in the best way, because now he realizes he's dealing with a woman who isn't ruled by emotion, but guided by self-respect. Walking away with peace also protects your energy. There's nothing more draining than trying to force something that's not flowing naturally. When you keep fighting for someone to see your value, you're giving your power away. But when you walk away peacefully, you take all that energy back and put it into yourself, your healing, your growth, your happiness. That's when you start to glow again.